It's Two on the Aisle with me, Charles Gross, and Leslie Hoban Blake. Tonight, reviews of End of the Rainbow, Cyborn Park, The Lions, and Tribes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Two on the Aisle. Good evening, I'm Charles Gross, and welcome to Two on the Aisle.
I'm the aforementioned Leslie Hoban Blake. Good evening.
Our Drama Desk Vice President. So we have a lot to talk about. We're wrapping up the season. And so we will start with End of the Rainbow.
Should have left that for the end.
Yes, well,
Okay.
This was the end. This is the last days of Judy Garland.
Sad.
Very.
Yeah.
Who, of course, is probably best known for Over the Rainbow and Wizard of Oz. Mm-hmm. And this shows some of the last concerts she did in London.
Mm-hmm. The Palladium.
And this Palladium, and we do actually see her on stage, but most of the action takes place in her hotel room with her last husband, Mickey, and her piano player.
Mm-hmm. Beautifully played by Michael Cumpsey, I must say.
Yes. And Judy Garland is played, I think, by a British actress.
Yes,
by
Tracy Bennett.
Tracy Bennett, who I enjoyed, but I kept thinking, really, it's not Judy, she doesn't really look like Judy Garland,
and she doesn't really sound like Judy.
Judy
I had the same. Charlie, we're in a vocal minority on this one, but I'm glad we agree. I have seen many female impersonators do a better job. There's a wonderful guy named Tommy Femia who's been doing Judy for the last 15 years at Don't Tell Mama, and he gets her down to a degree and looks like her and acts like her so much that I was disappointed in this woman. She comes close, but not close enough.
Well, her voice, she's got a good voice, but it's a little husky.
It's not a Judy voice.
No,
that's
not
it. It's
at
not
all.
Judy at all. And I thought it was a musical. So I wasn't expecting a musical, and instead it was this backstage drama,
Right.
with...
Well, I would call it kind of a play with music.
It was, but I didn't realize that before.
Right, I mean, there is an onstage, there is a
Right.
band, and she sings live. It's interesting. It's kind of like One Man, Two Governors, except that the music is that the songs here are a part of the play because you could see her onstage performance.
Right, but I mean, what she's
reflective
doing
of what
is,
she's going through.
Exactly, but she's rehearsing. I mean, we see her rehearsals, and
Right.
But
we see her performances also.
and then we see the performance that she's
and at the end,
for.
Tracy Bennett is allowed to sing a song more as Tracy Bennett,
Right.
just so that we can.
And I don't know who Tracy Bennett is, so that doesn't, that didn't thrill me. I mean, I think that this was a show that probably went over better over there than it did here, and it has a built-in audience. Obviously, I mean, there's always a gay contingent that's going to go see anything about Judy Garland anywhere.
Well, an interesting part of the show is her pianist is gay, and at one point he is saying, come live with me, and we'll have this type of life together, and you certainly get.
He wants to save her, and,
yes.
and she's not salvageable. She says, I have no control. It takes me over, and I don't know what to do. It's not, and that's understandable. There was just a force within her that was a self-destructive force, is what I wanted to say. But Michael Cumpsey said something very interesting. I've seen him play Richard III. Mm-hmm. He was in, I think he was in Copenhagen. He has played some wonderful.
And we'll be talking about Blair Underwood in Streetcar Named Desire.
Right.
I think he was also on L.A. Law.
Oh, it's possible. I don't remember, but he said this is the first time I get to play somebody who's like me, and I thought, oh well, he came out in that case. And
a gay piano. He's a gay piano player.
No,
in real
but
life?
I guess he's closer to this character than say Richard III, and I didn't realize that. So I thought it was a lovely thing for him to say in the way he said it.
I think most of us are closer to gay piano players than Richard III.
By the way, he got nominated. If I didn't say that, I should have.
For the Tonys or the Drama Desk?
It's the Tonys. It's the Tonys. He got nominated for a Tony as a featured performer.
And deservedly so.
It's a lovely performance.
I liked Tom Pelphrey as Judy's last husband,
Mickey Deems. Yeah, right.
But it gets a little confusing because he starts.
There were so many of them.
He starts off, keeping her off the booze, keeping her off the pills,
and then
he's shoving him down her throat.
Like everybody else. Well, but see, that was the pattern from the time she was a girl. They gave her pills to keep her thin. They gave her pills so she wouldn't eat. They gave her pills to keep her awake, and they gave her pills to put her to sleep. And the alcohol. I mean, that started when she was a child.
But it's inconsistent with the character. You know, did he finally just give in?
I don't know.
It's not. You know, at one point she's begging him for pills, and she won't give her anything.
See, the thing that bothered
and then
me
at the end of the play, he's shoving them down her throat. That wasn't so important. Obviously, it was important to keep her performing. Their financial future depended on it.
I know we have to wrap this up, but the only thing I'm curious about is I don't remember the name of the playwright here. I don't know this playwright, and I just wondered all the way through how factual this was.
Peter Quilter was the playwright. Terry Johnson directed.
Right. I don't know. You know, the problem for me was, is it factual? I'd have to go back and read a couple of more biographies to find out how close to what actually happened. If it's based on something Mickey Dean said, well, because he came off looking kind of okay, and I never, you never know about that.
Very good at first, but not so great. Not so great at the end. Here's a very quick story. Merv Griffin, the talk show host, prior to this, Judy was really in desperate shape, and Sid Loth, who was her husband before, had taken all her money and had even her vocal arrangements.
They all did.
But he also so Merv got her on the show. His band leader had been Judy's band leader, so they got her company. And then he had her host the show, and he had a lot of trouble finding people to come on because of her reputation.
Right.
But he did, and she succeeded, and she really performed well. She really got herself together. And then at the wrap-up party was the nightclub where she met Mickey.
Oh, interesting. Well, I did not know that.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So how many?
I would give this 3. You know, I would have preferred a more Judy
Yeah.
on it.
Oh my God, that's a Cary Grant. Judy.
Yes.
Okay, I'd go along with 3. I would 2.75. I've never done one of those. I thought I'd give it a fractional.
All right.